Hi, I'm Kayla from La Terraza, and I'm here today to show you how you can paint your Holiday Handprint Platter. There are 3 different designs that I can show you how to make, and there's 3 separate videos for each one. So if this isn't the video for the design you want, then click onto one of the other ones. So with your kit, you're going to get your glazed paints, which look much more pale than these finished fired pieces. So keep in mind they will change to look like what you see right here, but in the beginning they're going to be pale. So you'll get your glazed paints, you're going to get a fine detail brush, and you're going to get a piece of a sponge that you will need to do your handprints and things like that. So there's 3 different designs you can pick from. And again, with the kit, you can make any of the designs. There's just 3 different videos to show you how to make each one. First is our Cold Hands Warm Heart Plate that has a little handprint that looks like a fire in a fireplace, which I think is super cute. And then the other designs we just have on these tiles, but you can obviously do them on the big plate. One is this little Christmas tree that you can make with either handprints or baby footprints. It's really cute, and it has like presents and ornaments and things like that. Or this one that says Joy and has some rainbow string lights. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to make one of these designs. And again, if it's not the one you want, then click on to a different one. And if you follow along, you can make the same design, and then you have to bring it back to get fired, and it'll be shiny and glossy like these finished ones. Alright, so the first thing you want to do with your plate is check to see if it looks dusty. And if it does, just get a sponge with a little bit of water on it, not a lot, you can squeeze some out, and just wipe your plate off to make sure there's no loose dust. This is really important to do if there is dust on it, because sometimes the dust can mess up your paint a little bit, so just make sure you do that. For our Joy plate with the thumbprints for the Christmas lights, I recommend you write out the word Joy and the string of lights before you start painting. So I'm going to, in the middle, just kind of put Joy in some fancy cursive writing. You can do any kind of lettering. I recommend Google Joy lettering and see some different cursive styles. But I'm just going to do this kind of basic cursive letter J. And now it's going to go up on the edge of the plate, where I'm going to have it just kind of be like a little bit wavy. And when you get close to the end, you can have it maybe like curl back onto the plate or something like that. Now before we go on to our next step with the colors, we actually need to paint over this with black. Pencil burns off completely in the kiln, whether you cover it or not. So you can erase things if they get messed up and try again. It might leave a smudge, but that will disappear too. So pencil's gonna go away. We're gonna go over everything with black using our small brush. I recommend when you're going over your lines to just have a good amount of paint on your brush. Hold it kind of like you would a pencil. And once the paint feels like it's starting to run out, re-dip and get more. It's gonna look better if you don't paint all the way until it's super thin and see-through. If you keep the whole line kind of an even thickness, it'll look a bit more solid. So I'm going to go ahead and go over all my pencil with my black paint. When you're done doing one layer of black, you're actually completely done with black because you don't need to do more than one layer, so we're just going to leave it like this. Also, you might notice that your black is getting really light and looking like gray, which is normal with glazed paints. They are going to look lighter and chalkier, and then once they fire is when they will get darker and brighter and the colors will look kind of more shiny. So don't worry about it starting to look lighter, that's normal. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to decide what colors I want to do my lights, and I kind of want to do all of them, so I'm going to put a little bit of each on my palette. Alright, so to put the thumbprints on for my lights, I'm going to use this sponge. You could just dip your finger in paint, but what usually ends up happening is it just looks like a big blob, and you don't actually get to see like the lines in your thumb, which is kind of cool, I think, when you get to see that. So I'm going to start by doing all the ones in red that I want to do. I like to think that I'm gonna put a light kind of in each bend. So if you want to do an even amount of rainbow colors, you count it out like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Or if you have like your whole family is doing this, maybe each family member could have a different color for their thumb. It's kind of up to you. But I take my sponge, I dip it in the color I want to start with, and I'm going to kind of just sponge it all over my thumb. I'm not having it be super thick. I want it to have a little bit of texture to it. And then I'm gonna pick a spot right here, and I'm gonna press down and kind of roll it a little bit, like forward roll it. And there's one light. Now I'm gonna count it out. I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4 with the next red. You wanna make sure you put paint on your thumb every single time you're gonna press it down, or it's gonna be really thin and see-through. Okay, so I'm done with red. Now I'm gonna just wash my thumb off. And now I'm going to do the same thing with yellow. So I dip my sponge in that color. I dab it on my thumb. And press down. And there it is. I'm going to do this for all the colors. And with that, I am all finished with my plate. I love this pattern because it's really simple and quick and easy to do. You can of course add more details and designs to it if you want. Obviously my thumbs are pretty big, so there's not a lot of space between the wire and the thumb, but if you did leave a little space, you could do like a little bit of black to kind of make it look like the part that holds the light bulb to the wire. But otherwise, it's all finished, and once it gets fired, it's gonna look shiny and glossy and really bright and pretty.